Hey, welcome back to the Frank Driscoll Show. We have special guest, Austen Alexander, who is an absolute YouTube stud. I've watched a lot of his shows and content. He's got millions of views. It's so fun to see, how he does his show while being active in the military. So it's so great. So thanks so much for coming on the show, Austen. We really appreciate having you.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, kind of give what's your background? I mean, where did you go before you were in the military? What kind of things were you doing?
So I grew up in a very small town, Florence, Alabama. Graduated in 2010, high school. I went to about a year and a half of college. And that's when I kind of, I wasn't really into it. I didn't really want to go to college. So I started cutting grass full time for my city, making pizzas. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my life before the military.
Okay. Then what prompted you to want to join? Is it something where, like, I have a lot of military in my family, and it seemed like most everyone, they kind of knew they wanted to be in it. Was it similar story for yourself, or?
Well, not really. I had an uncle and a grandpa in the military, and they didn't really talk about it. They didn't really persuade me to go in or anything, but the rest of my family, I think they were kind of against me going. They didn't want to say it, but they just didn't want me to leave, because it's a small town, family's really close. So they just didn't want me to leave. And what really prompted me is my friend Taylor Austen. He said, "I'm going to the Navy recruiter. Do you want to come with me?" And I was like, "No, man." I was like, "There's no way I'm joining the military." I said, "I'm not going with you." He said, "No, just come hang out and we can, we can get lunch or dinner afterwards." And I said, "Okay." So I went, and I was standing outside the recruiter office, and he was in there, looking over some jobs or whatever. And I see the recruiter, he kind of waves me in. I said, "Okay, here we go. He's going to try to sell me a job in the Navy." And he's like, "You can have a seat, bro." And he didn't really say anything about the Navy at all. I thought it was weird. But anyways, Taylor and the recruiter keep talking, and he asked me, he said, "So are you interested in joining the Navy?" I said, "No." He said, "Okay." He handed me a pamphlet, and it was a Navy SEAL pamphlet. And of course, I looked at it. I said, "This is an awesome job. This looks awesome. It would be awesome." And the next day, so I brought the pamphlet home. I thought about it really hard. I said, "What am I doing with my life?" I said, "I'm cutting grass. I'm making pieces. I'm not going to college. Do I want to do this forever?" And I said, "No." And I made the ultimate decision right there. Next day, I went back. I said, "Sign me up."
Nice. So thought about it, figured, hey, I'm not progressing. This isn't what I want to do the rest of my life. And then just moved forward and made that decision. And how has that affected your life so far, would you say, after joining?
I would say, I tell people all the time, I've been in the Navy for 6 years, and I've accomplished more in that 6 years than I did in my 21 years before the military. And I think when I speak, people think that I'm a recruiter. They think that I want them to join the military, but that's not the case at all. I like to help people as much as I can. And that's why I say, I believe if you're considering the military, I believe it is a great choice, because it is a great career builder, or it's a good place to get, another jump start on life.
Nice. And then how did the YouTube videos get in here? What was your first video? Where did that come from?
I'd always taken a little interest in videography. Like, me and my friends used to make little videos of us, dancing to song, like music videos and stuff. But I never really picked up a camera when I was in the military until I went on deployment. And I bought this little $300 Canon camera, and I started, filming around the ship, filming around the boat and everything. And I kind of chopped it up, and I made a deployment video. And so I posted it, and I just kind of posted it on YouTube. I didn't really check on it. I wasn't active on YouTube or anything. And then a year later, I looked at my account, and I had almost 1,000 subscribers. And so at that point, I was just kind of like, maybe these people are interested in what I'm doing, or maybe these people are, interested in the military. They want more content. And that video, it didn't really take my channel off, but it made me realize, like, there is a want for this type of content.
Absolutely. And I must say, like, just touching base on like one of yours, I think I looked at like the pay structure was the first video that I saw of yours, where
Yeah.
you went through and you had to go quickly because you had to go into work. So
Mhm.
I thought, gosh, this is awesome. This guy's going through all this material, and
Yeah.
I believe you only had like 10 minutes before you had to get to get into work. So I was really
Yep.
impressed of how well you could do all of that and explain it, and it was fascinating to me. And really, ever since then, I've been hooked. So you did a great job of one time I watched, and now I'm in, and I want to watch. What were some of your other favorite episodes that you've enjoyed filming or creating, or that have really exploded and went viral?
You know, there are two completely different things. My favorite videos that I've created didn't do well at all. And the videos that, I was just making really quick, or explainer videos that would help people, they're the ones that make it big. So favorite one that I've created is probably the workout videos. I mean, because I'm into fitness and everything, and I like creating content that revolves around fitness. And some of the videos they don't do well at all. But there's 5 or 6 now, but the military pay did really well because it was helping people. People were actually searching for it, and people were interested in how much the military pay is, as well as the day in the life of an enlisted sailor. Those 3 videos, the aircraft carrier deployment video, military pay, as well as day in the life, they're the top 3 videos on my channel that kind of really boosted it a whole lot and gave me some extra confidence to keep posting those videos.
That is not. Let me ask you this: how has your life changed? Are you recognized now for the guy that has the YouTube channel everywhere you go in the Navy and outside of it? And how has that changed your treatment in the military?
Yeah, when I first started, people were curious. They were wondering. They were like, "Why? Why would he spend his weekends? Why would he spend his time making those videos? Why is he doing this?" And it was just a why. I mean, from everybody. And then there was a video that made a big Miss Bikini Olympia attempts to U.S. Navy, and then people that I didn't even know from the base were saying, they were coming down to the Harbor Division. They were saying, "Where's Austen Alexander at? Does he work down here?" Because they caught wind of my YouTube channel. It was seen by over 2.8 million people in the first week and a half. And so that was the point this year. It happened in April, actually, for me, that people started recognizing me in public from the Navy. So, yeah, and I will get messages all the time. Like, people are like, "Oh, I'm from Point Loma. I just wanted to, say hello, say I love what you're doing." And so I'm not recognized military wide, but in the Navy specifically, I think everybody's caught wind of, "Oh, there's a master at arms security guard that makes YouTube videos over in Seal Beach."
Well, I imagine that's kind of nice wherever you go, where you feel like people kind of already know you a little bit from
Mm-hmm.
like seeing your videos and getting to know your personality. So they probably
Mm-hmm.
feel a little closer to you than you do to them right away. But it is kind of nice to have that at least recognition of your work and that you're the person that does that. What would you tell to someone that, let's say, is in the military or out and wants to start like a YouTube channel? What would you tell them about it? Like, what's your advice?
I'm really passionate about this question because I didn't post because I didn't think people cared about what I had to post. I always wanted to, create YouTube videos and have a channel, but I didn't know what to post. And so I kind of just sat down and looked at myself. I said, "Well, what am I?" I said, "What do I do? I'm in the military. I love fitness, and I'm from Alabama." So that's something that was important to me to keep in my channel. So anybody out there that wants to start a YouTube channel in the military, I would say just start. Or anybody in general, really, I would say just start. Just post something. I remember looking back at my, second, third, fourth videos, and they were terrible quality, and they were, nobody was watching them, and it's a rough start. If you don't know where to start, it's a rough start, but you do learn every single video. I know it sounds cliche, you hear it all the time, but you will learn from every video. You just got to put your mind to it and keep going and stay consistent.
Do you think there's any special challenges for like the military people that are watching this to start versus, let's say, the civilians? Is there any extra things that they have to do or they have to be careful with when they're starting their channel?
Yes, there is. They have to be very careful because they all know there's you have to have a video pass on your own base, or you have to have video permissions from the public affairs officer, or you have to let your chain of command know. And I would say if they're filming anywhere even remotely close to base or on base or they're in uniform or anything, make sure that someone is either overseeing their channel or overseeing the content before they post it. Because it happens all the time on Instagram. I see kind of stuff that military members shouldn't be posting. And before I post my videos, I stay in contact with the public affairs officer. He controls the media, all the media in Seal Beach. And I just kind of run it by him. I say, hey, Greg, is this okay to post? Because once the video's out there, it's out there. And I would say be very careful about showing, operations inside the base or tactics or anything like that.
No, that's a great point. And I didn't know that before I asked that question. So that's a very interesting. I like how you run it by first, right? Just to make sure. And then that way, if you post, it's out of your hands. You didn't do anything wrong. You went through the proper channels and make sure that everything's good.
It gets kind of frustrating sometimes because you have this really cool project you've been working on, and it should be approved first. So you properly send it up the chain of command. You let your chief know, you let your security officer know, as well as the PAO. And sometimes it can take, a month or weeks. And the viewers, they ask me, they say, post a video of you at work or post a video of you on the boat. And I just simply can't do it all the time. I've done, 5 or 6 videos like that were approved, but it takes a long, long time to get them approved.
So that just definitely makes me think of your workflow. So you're filming, you're constantly filming videos, but sometimes you're just waiting the approval process for the next ones. Is there ever a time where you filmed one ahead first that wasn't approved, but another one got filmed that was maybe, later than you filmed? So sometimes
Yes.
they're out of sequence, right? Then if you're doing it that way.
Mm-hmm. When I shaved my head, before I shaved my head, I filmed a video about naval law enforcement. And so I was posting videos with my head shaved, and then I posted a video that I had my hair, and people were wondering. They were like, what the heck? So yeah, they do get out of sequence or whatever, but I don't have a series, so it's
right.
okay.
Now that also kind of leads me, and we're kind of going a little off track of where I thought we'd go, but that makes me think, well, what other projects are you thinking on? If now you've got this audience, right, that's following you, is there other things that you want to get into besides just this, or create different series from within your channel? Or what are some of what does the future hold for you as far as that?
I've been getting challenged by different countries. A British guy just challenged me to a 3-mile ruck with 40 pounds. So I think fitness challenges, from other military members, military YouTubers around the world, I think that's something that I would love to get into. I like the competition. I like the camaraderie that it brings, and it just kind of brings a community of people that love military and fitness, and that's what I like. That's what I want.
Okay, so you want to develop that?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, look, I think I've seen a few of those, and it's pretty fun. I mean, they're great. If you guys haven't checked them out, please look at them. But they're awesome on that side. What was your biggest aha moment? Where do you think your biggest breakthrough or epiphany lied when you really knew, right, that you really can do this?
Let's see. So when I first got to Long Beach, well, actually I work in Seal Beach, but I lived in Long Beach, and it's right below LA. You have all these movie stars, you have all these fitness people over there. I said, I wanted to get into videography. So I contacted a few influencers. I said, let me video you for free, because I was trying to build a portfolio. And so I was videoing, and because I thought I wanted to be a videographer. I've had a change of heart, throughout the years or whatever. But I thought I wanted to be a videographer because I was interested in video. And after 2 videos, I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I said, I don't want to film them. I want to film myself. So that's around that same time is when I kind of looked back at my YouTube channel, and it was building up towards 1,000 subscribers from the deployment video. And my girlfriend, Sarah, at the time, she was a huge motivation because she's hard on me. She's harder than the military was. She said, what are you doing? She said, you need to get in there and you need to make more YouTube videos. And she's like, you have all these people, almost 1,000 people that are on your channel, that are subscribed to you, that are wanting content from you. She said, what are you doing? Make be consistent, start being consistent. I said, okay. So that was the moment, all the stars aligned. I said, let's do it.
So really you were there, you were filming people and you're like, I want to be in front of the camera. Right. And then
Yes,
she's coming on, and what a perfect timing while you're small. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there that know what it's like to be around 1,000 subscribers or have some influence, whatever it is. And she's pushing you to really push the content. And then the light bulb just went off and you're like, all right, let's do it. And from there on out, you've just been consistent and pushing through and making videos, every week, essentially. Correct?
Yes, sir. So July 16th, last year is when I posted my first video. And then a week later, I posted another one. And then 3 days later, I posted another one. I posted 120 videos in 360 days. So that's that's 3 videos. I'm sorry, that's a video every 3 days.
Okay, let me ask you another question. What's non-negotiable for you? What is something that you're just unwilling to do or compromise with filming this or in your life or anything?
So when I gained lots of virility and subscribers and eyes on my channel, of course, you have a lot of companies that reach out to you that want to sponsor or want to, pay you money to shout them out. I remember a company in Canada offered me it was a $12,000 contract for a year in order for me to, run their ads on my channel, as well as, I believe it was take 10% of the ad revenue on there, which is not a lot. And seeing that $12,000 contract, I've never seen anything like that, because I come from a small town, medium level income family, and $12,000 to me is a lot of money, but it didn't sit right with me. And I didn't want somebody to have, to be contracted over my channel. So now companies still reach out to me all the time. If I do not use the product, or if I wouldn't use the product, or if I don't believe in the company, does not matter how much money they're offering me, I will not put it on my channel. I believe that my channel is powerful because a lot of people see it, and I don't want to interrupt their viewing experience.
I think that's amazing. I love the high standards you set for yourself and the integrity that it was a lot of money. I bet you it was hard to turn down at first, because that is a lot of money, and it can be really make an impact on your life, but you don't want to give up that control. You don't want to give up the control of the channel. And I love that you want to be in alignment with the companies that want to either sponsor, promote, or advertise on the channel, because then you feel right. You don't have to change anything. Right. And it just works, and it's more authentic, for your viewership too. Right. This is who you really are. You're not having to use the inferior product that you don't want to use, but they're offering the most. Right. I think that's a great thing. What are some of your greatest failures, and what do they teach you?
Let's see. Greatest failures. I have a lot of them. I think we all do. Let's see. So I guess we can kind of shift the question to what something else taught me. It's negativity, that kind of circulates around a YouTube channel. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And when lots of people are seeing you, now I think I just hit 9 million overall views. So that's 9 million views for the channel. That's probably maybe 5 or 6 million people, 7 million people. And they all have an opinion. Most of them don't talk about their opinion, but a lot of them do. And, if you slip up, if you have one piece of information, little construed or anything like that, they will hit you on it, and they will just tap into it. And, them and thousands of other people will talk about it. So I've realized now that everybody, I make lots of mistakes, and sometimes I'll have a piece of information misconstrued, like whether it's the maximum range on the M9 service pistol or just something like that. And people like to tap into it. And I would say the comments are brutal on YouTube. I even though I hit the filter on there, it still doesn't filter out all of them, and they are brutal. They talk about the way that I look. They talk about the way that my girlfriend looks, about everything. And when I first started seeing these comments, they affected me. I was like, my feelings were hurt. I was offended, but now I feel like it's hardened me. All the negativity has hardened me into not caring or understanding that, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's going to be commenting negative comments. And this goes for actual life as well. Everybody has an opinion. Some people will say it to you. Some people won't. You just got to ignore it, ignore the negativity, consume the positivity, and keep on rolling, keep on trucking.
I think that's a great attitude to have. And I think probably until someone has been in your shoes a little bit and have to deal with this, it's, one or two is one thing, but when you're getting bombardment, right? I think that can be frustrating, and that's a different part of fame that I think a lot of people really aren't accustomed to or used to having to deal with. But I think you have a great outlook on that. And I definitely would not let the negative, don't worry about the haters. Just keep going, because there's so many people like myself who's a huge fan, and there's other people out there. We don't care if the range on the service pistol M9 or whatever is slightly off, okay? Or if it's this distance, or are we talking a 45-degree angle? I mean, who knows? Or what ammo? Look, as long as you're in the ballpark, right, and we're not saying something crazy, I think some people are just being a little nitpicky. So don't even worry about that.
And I appreciate that.
Go ahead.
The comments from you guys, the comments from people that are in support of my channel, that's a huge factor, because I know there are people out there that are actually appreciating what I'm doing. And that's a huge factor for me that keeps me motivated and keeps me away from the negativity. I just wanted to add that part in there.
Yeah, no, totally. What do you think is the most important part of the whole business journey for you so far, or building out your channel on YouTube?
The most important part is it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take lots of time. You have to be dedicated. You have to be motivated. You have to discipline yourself to know what needs to be done, when it needs to be done. There's some parts of business that are not fun, and there are some parts that are fun, but you have to have the full package if you want, to succeed.
Perfect. And then what drives you when it gets really tough? When you don't feel like making another video, you're like, I'm done. I want to go on vacation. I don't want to think about my YouTube channel. What drives you to keep doing it when you don't feel like doing it, or the editing, or any of the other parts that sometimes, we don't think about?
I think what drives me now probably is I know there are people out there that are considering the military, or veterans, or anyone really that enjoys the military, that are looking for content to either learn from and benefit from, or to just kind of take a glance. And I think if I'm not, posting about my life, then the way that I do it, then nobody else is going to do it. So when I started getting a lot of questions from people, it motivated me as well. It motivated me because I know there's people out there that are interested in the military or going to the military, and I want to help them, because I was in their shoes, almost 6 years ago. I was in the same shoes as them. So I think the people, the subscribers, the people that watch my content regularly, those are my motivators. Those are my biggest motivators. I call them the notification squad. So when I post a video, they get a notification on their phone. And I really appreciate those people. Those people keep me going.
Perfect, man. Well, Austen, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you. Is there anything that you want to tell the audience listening, or maybe why they should, go ahead and subscribe to your channel, and any other contact information if you want to do a shout out for anything that you want to talk about?
Sure. I'll go back and kind of hit on starting. If you are interested in starting a YouTube channel, or starting anything really, you just have to start. That's the most important part. You don't have to be perfect. Your work's not going to be perfect. Nobody's ever is. And you just have to find a starting point, and you will learn from there, and you will get better and better and better every video, or every workout, or whatever you're doing. You just have to start. And I know it sounds cliche, but I came to that moment about 11 and a half months ago. Sarah was saying, just start. And so I did, and I haven't looked back since. So anybody watching this, I just want you to start. You just got to start.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on for Austen Alexander. I really appreciate it. Guys, we'll put his links below so that you can go ahead and click on it, subscribe. And definitely, if you like this one, please like or comment. Let him know any questions. He can go through and answer them as well. And then thanks so much for being a guest on the Frank Driscoll Show. Really appreciate it. And guys, like and subscribe and push it. Thank you guys so much. Take care and have a wonderful day.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.